So we all voted, and you're officially invisible for tonight's dinner. Just don't talk, don't participate, just be furniture. My wife Julia said this while applying lipstick in our bathroom mirror, her tone so casual, she might as well have been discussing the weather. I stood in the doorway, still in my work clothes, briefcase in hand. I'm sorry, what? It's this thing Francesca came up with. We take turns making our husbands invisible at group dinners. It's hilarious, you'll see. I'm 36 years old. I've been married to Julia for 8 years. We live in a decent townhouse in the suburbs, and until this moment, I thought we had a pretty solid relationship. You want me to sit at dinner and not speak? Exactly. Oh, and if you do talk, everyone will just ignore you. That's the game. She capped her lipstick and turned to me with a smile. Don't be such a baby about it. Lorenzo dealt with it last month, and he was a good sport. Lorenzo was Francesca's husband. I'd met him a few times. Quiet guy, always looked tired. Julia, that's actually humiliating. She sighed dramatically. It's one dinner. They're already on their way. Can you just do this for me? Please. The doorbell rang. Great, they're here. Just be cool, okay? She squeezed my arm and walked past me. I stood there for a moment, trying to process what had just happened. Then I heard the voices downstairs, Francesca's loud laugh, Valentina's sharp commentary, and Chiara's bubbly greeting. The dinner party from hell was about to begin. I came downstairs to find them already opening wine in my kitchen. For women, mid-30s, dressed like they were going to a cocktail bar instead of a casual Friday dinner. Oh look, the invisible man appears, Francesca announced, and they all laughed. I forced a smile. Hey everyone. Dead silence. They literally turned away and continued their conversation as if I hadn't spoken. Julia caught my eye and mouth. Game started. We sat down to dinner, a meal I'd actually helped prep that morning before work. I'd marinated the chicken, chopped vegetables, set the table. Now I was apparently a ghost. This chicken is amazing, Julia, Valentina said. My wife beamed. Thanks. I worked on it all day. All day. I'd left for work at 7 a.m. She'd been asleep. I'd done the prep at 6. I opened my mouth, then closed it. What was the point? So, Valentina. Chiara leaned forward conspiratorially. How's the thing with your personal trainer? Oh my God, don't even get me started. He's so hot, and he definitely flirts with me. You should go for it, Francesca said, refilling her wine. Life's short. She's married, I said automatically. For pairs of eyes slid over me like I was a blank wall. Then they resumed talking. Anyway, Valentina continued, I'm thinking about it. My husband's so boring lately. They all nodded sympathetically. I ate my chicken and wondered if I'd fallen into an alternate dimension. We should take a trip, Julia suggested. Just us girls. Maybe that beach resort in Sardinia? Yes. No husbands, no kids, just us. When should we go? What about our anniversary? I said to Julia. We planned that trip. She didn't even glance at me. Maybe September, she said to the group. The weather's still nice. September was our anniversary month. We'd already booked a cabin in the mountains. Something cold settled in my chest. The dinner lasted 3 hours. 3 hours of being talked over, through, and around. They discussed their husbands like we were accessories they'd tired of. They made plans using money from joint accounts without even pretending to consult the men who'd earned half of it. At one point, Francesca said, You know what I love about these invisible nights? We get to say what we really think. So liberating, Chiara agreed. Julia laughed. I know, right? Sometimes I wish it could be like this all the time. I set down my fork. She wished I was invisible all the time. I excused myself, not that anyone acknowledged it, and went upstairs. I sat on the edge of our bed and stared at the wall. 8 years of marriage. I'd worked 60-hour weeks to help pay off her student loans. I'd supported her through 3 different career changes. I'd been her partner, her friend, her biggest cheerleader, and she wished I was invisible. The laughter from downstairs echoed through the house. They finally left around 11. Julia came upstairs, still smiling, smelling like wine. See? That wasn't so bad. I was lying in bed, staring at the ceiling. You took credit for the food I made. Oh, come on, don't be petty. You made plans during our anniversary. I haven't confirmed anything. She started removing her jewelry. Why are you being so sensitive? You said you wished I was invisible all the time. She paused. I was joking. Were you? Oh my God. She turned to face me. You're really going to make this a thing? It was a game. Everyone does it in our group. It's a messed up game, Julia. You're being dramatic. I sat up. How would you feel if my friends came over and we all decided you were invisible. If we talked about you like you were an inconvenience, that's different. How? Because it just is. God, you're ruining a perfectly good night. She grabbed her pillow. I'm sleeping in the guest room. Maybe by morning you'll be less of a child about this. She left. I didn't sleep at all that night. Saturday morning, she acted like nothing had happened. Made coffee, scrolled through her phone, hummed while getting ready to meet Francesca for brunch. You want anything from town? She asked on her way out. An apology would be nice. She rolled her eyes. Still? Seriously? You humiliated me in our own house. I participated in a harmless game with my friends. If you can't handle that, maybe the problem is your insecurity, not my friendships. She left before I could respond. I sat in the quiet house and realized something. This wasn't new. This was just the first time it had been so blatant. I started thinking about the past year. How many times had she dismissed my feelings? How many times had she made plans without consulting me? How many times had her friends' opinions mattered more than mine? The girls' night, that became a weekly thing, sometimes twice a week. The expensive purchases she made and justified as self-care. The way she talked about me to her mother. I'd overheard enough to know I was always the problem in her stories. I'd become furniture in my own marriage. And I'd let it happen, bit by bit, conflict by conflict, until this was normal. Sunday evening, she came home late again. I'd spent the weekend thinking. Really thinking. We need to talk, I said. She sighed. If this is about Friday, it's about everything. Friday was just the moment I couldn't ignore it anymore. Ignore what? That you don't respect me. That I'm invisible to you whether we're playing your friend's sick game or not. She crossed her arms. That's ridiculous. Is it? When's the last time you asked about my day? My work? Anything about my life? Silence. When's the last time we made a decision together instead of you informing me of what you'd already decided? More silence. I'm not your roommate, Julia. I'm supposed to be your partner. You're being so dramatic about one dinner party. It's not about one dinner. My voice rose. It's about you treating me like I don't matter. Like my feelings are inconvenient. Like the marriage is all about you and I'm just supposed to smile and support whatever you want. That's not fair, isn't it? You made plans during our anniversary. You took credit for work I did. You literally made me invisible and then told me to stop being childish when it hurt. Her face hardened. So what do you want? An apology? Fine. I'm sorry you're so sensitive. That's not an apology. It's all you're getting. We stared at each other. I think we need counseling, I said quietly. I think you need therapy for your insecurity issues. I'm serious, Julia. So am I? You're the one with the problem, not me. She grabbed her purse. I'm staying at Francesca's tonight. Maybe some space will help you get perspective. She left again. I stood in the living room of the house I paid half the mortgage on, in the marriage I'd given 8 years to, and felt absolutely nothing. That was the scariest part. Not anger anymore. Just emptiness. Monday morning, I called in sick to work. I wasn't sick, but I needed time to think. I made a list. Pros and cons of staying versus leaving. The cons column filled up fast. The pros column had 2 items, shared history, and hope it could get better. Not exactly compelling. By Monday afternoon, I'd made a decision. I didn't come to it lightly, but once I did, it felt right. It felt like waking up. I started with small things. I called a divorce attorney, just for a consultation, to understand my options. I contacted a real estate agent to understand the market value of our house. I looked into apartments. Julia came home Monday night like nothing was wrong. Hey, what's for dinner? She asked. I don't know. What are you making? She blinked. I assumed you'd cook. Why would you assume that? Because you usually do? When you asked me to, sure. But you didn't ask. So figure it out yourself. I went back to my laptop. She stood there for a moment, confused, then annoyed. What's your problem? No problem. Just not being invisible anymore. I could feel her staring at me, but I didn't look up. She ordered takeout. Tuesday, Francesca called her, and they talked for an hour. I heard Julia's side of the conversation. I don't know what's wrong with him. Yes, he's still upset about that. I know, right? So sensitive. He says he wants counseling. I told him he's the one with issues. Wednesday, Valentina came over. They drank wine in the living room while I worked in my home office. I heard them laughing. Men are such babies, Valentina said. Seriously, he won't let it go. You should make him grovel. My husband learned his place after I gave him the silent treatment for a week. More laughter. I closed my office door and kept working on my exit plan. By Thursday, I had a clear picture. I had an apartment lined up, not fancy, but clean and affordable. I'd separated our finances mentally, knew what was mine versus what we'd need to split. I'd backed up all our important documents. I wasn't leaving yet, but I was ready to. Thursday night, Julia tried a different approach. "Hey," she said softly, coming into the bedroom where I was reading. "Can we talk?" "Sure." She sat on the edge of the bed. "I think maybe I was a little insensitive on Friday." "A little. I didn't realize it would bother you so much." "Would bother me. Not that it was wrong. That I was bothered. I don't want to fight," she continued. "Can we just move past this?" "Move past it how?" "Just forget about it. Go back to normal." "Normal is the problem, Julia." Her expression shifted. "So what? You want to punish me forever?" "I want things to change." "Like what?" "Like you treating me with basic respect. Like us being actual partners." "I do respect you. You made me invisible at a dinner party for fun. God, are we really still on this?" Her softness evaporated. "It was a joke. Jokes are supposed to be funny. You're being impossible." She stood up. "I try to make peace. This is on you now." She left the room. Friday arrived. Exactly 1 week since the dinner party. Julia informed me that morning that she was having the girls over again. "Another invisible night?" I asked. "No, just a regular dinner. But maybe you could make yourself scarce. In my own house. It would just be easier." "Easier for who?" She huffed. "Why do you have to make everything difficult?" I looked at her. Really looked at her. Trying to find the woman I'd fallen in love with 8 years ago. She wasn't there anymore. Or maybe I'd never really seen her clearly to begin with. "I'll be scarce," I said. "Don't worry." That evening, I went to my office and closed the door. But I could hear them through the walls. "Where's the invisible man?" Francesca's voice. "Hiding in his office, pouting," Julia answered. They laughed. "God, they're all so sensitive lately," Chiara said. "Lorenzo's been weird too since his invisible night." "Same with my husband," Valentina added. "He keeps bringing it up." "We should do it more often," Francesca suggested. "Really drive the point home." "What point?" Julia asked. "That we don't need them. That they should be grateful we put up with them." The agreement was unanimous and enthusiastic. I sat at my desk and finished my plan. Saturday and Sunday were tense. We barely spoke. She spent most of the weekend with her friends. I spent it preparing. Monday morning, she left for work at 8. She had a full day. I knew because I checked her calendar. Work until 5, then dinner plans with Chiara. She'd be gone at least 10 hours. I took the day off. At 8:15, I started packing. Not everything. Just my stuff. My clothes, my books, my documents, my electronics. The furniture could be sorted out later through lawyers. I packed methodically. Each box I filled felt lighter, like I was shedding weight. By noon, my car was loaded. By 1, the movers I'd hired had taken the bigger items I'd purchased myself. My desk, my chair, my bookshelf. By 2, the house was notably emptier, but still functional. She had everything she needed. I'd only taken what was mine. At 2:30, I stood in the living room one last time. 8 years of marriage, condensed into boxes in a storage unit in a small apartment across town. I wrote one note. Put it on the kitchen counter where she'd see it. Invisible means gone. Don't call. I left my wedding ring next to it. I locked the door behind me at 3 p.m. and drove away. My new apartment was small. Studio really. But it was mine, and it was quiet, and I could breathe. I unpacked the essentials. Set up my bed. Made coffee in my new coffee maker. My phone started ringing at 11:08 p.m. Julia. I declined the call. She called again immediately. Declined. Again. I turned off my phone. Tuesday morning, I turned my phone back on. 47 missed calls. 32 text messages. The texts started confused. "Where are you? Why is your stuff gone? What's going on?" Then angry. "You can't just leave without talking. This is childish. I can't believe you do this." Then panicked. "Please call me back. We need to talk about this. Please, I'm freaking out." Then manipulative. "I'm sorry about everything. I'll change, I promise. Please come home." I replied to one message. "I told you not to call. Contact my attorney for anything else." Then I blocked her number. She showed up at my work Wednesday afternoon. Security called me. "There's a woman here demanding to see you. Says she's your wife. I'm not available. Please have her leave. She's causing a scene." Then called the police for trespassing. I don't know if they did. But she left. Thursday, she sent emails. Long, rambling emails that swung between apologetic and accusatory. "I can't believe you threw away 8 years over one stupid dinner party. You're being so unfair. You won't even talk to me. Fine. If you want to be cruel, be cruel. But you'll regret this. Please." I'm sorry. I didn't know you were this unhappy. Let's fix this. I forwarded them all to my attorney without reading past the first lines. Friday, exactly 2 weeks after the invisible dinner, Francesca called my work. I don't know how she got the number. You're destroying her, she said when I made the mistake of answering, thinking it was a client. Who is this? Francesca, you need to go home and fix this. Julia's a mess. Then maybe she should reflect on why. It was just a game. God, you men are all so fragile. Tell me something, Francesca. How's Lorenzo doing? Silence. Because I'm betting he's not doing great. I'm betting none of the husbands in your little group are doing great. But you all keep telling yourselves we're the problem. You're an asshole. And you're someone who enjoys humiliating people for fun. At least I'm self-aware about my flaws. I hung up. The divorce papers were filed on Monday. Julia was served on Tuesday. She called from her mother's phone. I answered, not recognizing the number. Please, she sobbed. Please don't do this. Julia, I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. I didn't realize. I didn't know you felt invisible. I'll do anything. Counseling, whatever you want. I wanted counseling 2 weeks ago. You said I was the problem. I was wrong. I was so wrong. Please. I felt a pang of something. Not regret, exactly. Maybe sadness for what could have been if she'd cared sooner. I'm sorry, I said quietly. But I'm done being invisible. And the only way I can exist fully is without you. That's not fair. Neither was treating me like furniture in my own home. Neither was dismissing every feeling I had. Neither was making me beg for basic respect. I'll change. You'll change until I come back, and then slowly, it'll all return to how it was. Because the problem isn't the invisible game, Julia. The problem is you fundamentally don't respect me. And I don't think you can change that. You don't know that. I know that you had 2 weeks to apologize sincerely, to suggest counseling, to do anything that showed you cared. Instead, you told me I was childish and sensitive and insecure. The only reason you care now is because I left. She was crying hard. Please. I love you. Maybe you do. But not enough. Not the way I needed. I hung up. I didn't block her mother's number. That seemed cruel, but I didn't answer when she called back. 3 months later, the divorce was finalized. The house was sold. Assets split. We each walked away with our share. I heard through mutual friends that she was dating someone new already. Someone from her gym. They said she was happy. Good for her, I guess. I was dating too. Casually. Nothing serious yet. I was rediscovering what it felt like to be seen, to be heard, to matter. Turns out, not being invisible is pretty great. One Friday evening, about 4 months after I left, I was at a coffee shop near my apartment. I saw Lorenzo sitting alone at a corner table, looking at his phone. Francesca's husband. The guy who'd been a good sport about his invisible night. I almost didn't approach him, but something made me. Lorenzo. He looked up, confused, then recognized me. Oh, hey, mind if I sit? He gestured to the empty chair. We sat in silence for a moment. You left too? He finally asked. How'd you know? Francesca mentioned it. Said you were overreacting. What about you? He smiled, but it was sad. Filed last month. How long were you invisible before you'd had enough? 2 years. He looked at his coffee. 2 years of those games. 2 years of being told I was too sensitive, too needy, too whatever. I thought it would get better. It doesn't. No, it doesn't. He met my eyes. You did the right thing, leaving when you did. So did you. We talked for an hour. Compared notes, swapped stories. It was like being in a support group for men who'd been erased by the people who were supposed to love them. When we finally left, I felt lighter somehow. Now it's been almost a year since that invisible dinner. I'm dating someone. Actually dating, not casual. Her name's Sophia. She's kind, funny, and when I talk, she listens. When I have feelings, she doesn't dismiss them. When we disagree, we work through it together. It's wild what a healthy relationship feels like when you've spent so long in a toxic one. Sometimes I wonder if Julia ever really understood what she did wrong, or if she just blamed me for being too sensitive and moved on. I hope she's happy, genuinely, and I hope she treats her next partner better. But I also don't really care anymore, because I'm not invisible. I'm finally, fully, completely here, and that's enough.